Hi and welcome to SCW here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave the comments in the comments section. Please like and share the video as well. As requested then on Twitter, SCW, that's right, I'm going to be booking the men's 2021 Royal Rumble match in its entirety. I'm going to go through the entrance order of how I'd like to book it. I'm going to do storylines. We've got surprise entrants, call-ups from NXT. We've got the entire works as the road to WrestleMania starts. And in this fantasy booking video, it's going to start right here on SCW. So please subscribe. Let me know your feelings of this in the comments below. And of course, let me know how you would book the Royal Rumble Men's Match 2021. Going to go through all the entrants now and going to go through detail by detail as we go through the match. So without further ado, let's start, as any good Royal Rumble match does, with entry number 1. We can't start with 30, can we? The number 1 entrant in the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match via SCW is Sami Zayn. That's right, Sami Zayn. There's a conspiracy going, and I think this is a way you get yourself in a documentary. That's one of the reasons I've done this. I want to be in Sami Zayn's documentary. He's got a film crew going around right now. He is going to be very upset of the idea that he is number 1 in the Royal Rumble match. Not only was he number 1 in the gauntlets, not only has he had to chain himself on SmackDown to a guardrail, he is now number 1 in the Royal Rumble match, and he's going to have more reason to be annoyed because he's prepared for 29 other men. But has he prepared himself for entrant number 2 in the Royal Rumble match? And he most certainly hasn't, because from NXT, Tommaso Champa is the number 2 entrant. Now, he is not coming up to Raw or SmackDown on a permanent basis, but Tommaso Champa is someone that would be perfect to be in a Royal Rumble match. We've seen NXT superstars come into the Royal Rumble in previous years, including Johnny Gargano, who is still in NXT, Adam Cole, who is still in NXT. Tommaso Ciampa has never been in a Royal Rumble match, and in my opinion, deserves to be in one. So for me, he is entrant number 2. And of course, in classic fashion, and Sami Zayn with the conspiracy theory, he is eliminated before we get to entrant number 3. So Sami Zayn is the first one in the Royal Rumble, and he's also the first one out. Entrant number 3, and we're going big, we're going early. Randy Orton is the number 3 entrant in the Royal Rumble match, and that's right. And we've seen beef between Ciampa and Randy Orton on Twitter. We finally get to see them one-on-one in the ring in the Royal Rumble match. So Tommaso Ciampa, of course, still there from before. Randy Orton is the number 3 entrant. These two will continue to battle on as we go into entrant number 4, and number 4 is going to be Angel Garza. Angel Garza coming into the Royal Rumble at number 4. And in classic format now with the Royal Rumble, of course, we've seen it in previous years before. I want to see someone come into the ring at this point that's perhaps not going to do too much, not going to upset too many people, that they're eliminated very quickly. Garza will come in, receive an RKO, receive a couple of finishing moves as well from Tommaso Ciampa, and will be thrown straight over the top rope. We're going to go back to Ciampa and Orton, as we would do in other Rumbles, where we see two, if you want, perhaps bigger name superstars that kind of take the little guy out and go back to focus on each other. Entrant number 5 is John Morrison. That's right, and Morrison, he's not done too well in Rumbles of recent times. Last year he was thrown out very quickly by Brock Lesnar. Well, he's going to have the same luck this year as well. It's another superstar that can come in, take a little bit of an offense, but very quickly be thrown back over the top rope. The focus here is Ciampa versus Randy Orton. One thing I will say very quickly though about John Morrison, hopefully, we don't have Kofi in this Royal Rumble. Of course, he's out injured at the moment. Maybe John Morrison can do a fun little spot, maybe where he's thrown over once, maybe survives, and then magically gets back into the ring to be eliminated once again. That would be kind of cool. We'll get that spot from someone in the Rumble, because we don't have it from Kofi this year. So hopefully John Morrison can give us that moment before being eliminated from the Royal Rumble match. I still want this to be a spectacle, even if some of these superstars aren't lasting so long in the Royal Rumble match. Entrant number 6 in the Royal Rumble match is none other than Jeff Hardy. Will be coming in at number 6 in the Royal Rumble match. No stranger to Randy Orton. I'm going to start twisting this to the legends. A legend in his own right. But Jeff Hardy will be, unfortunately, suffering the same fate as Angel Garza and John Morrison, but he will be eliminated by Tommaso Ciampa, which I think will niggle Randy Orton a little bit. But of course, while Ciampa's a little bit distracted by doing that elimination, Ciampa will also be eliminated from the Royal Rumble match. Randy Orton is standing tall at this point on his own, waiting for the next entrant. And I said we're starting to go towards the legends. How about we have a legend coming through the curtain next? How about someone that says he can still go anytime he wants to? That's right, the Big Show is entrant number 7 in the Royal Rumble match. Now, Big Show was only on TV at Legends Night a couple of weeks ago. For me, it makes logical sense that he would take place in this spot in the Royal Rumble. It also actually links the storylines of why Randy Orton was bullying all these legends, gives a bit of continuity to the storyline. Now, of course, maybe I would have opted for other legends had I, just for out of the blue for whatever reason. But for me, in this spot here, Big Show does make the most logical sense. But the Big Show is going to suffer here. He's not going to be able to get the revenge on Randy Orton. He'll perhaps hit a choke slam. Maybe he'll manage to hit one of those knockout punches just when he thinks he's going to get Randy over the top rope. Randy finds a way to get an RKO in and then eliminates the Big Show from the ring. Entrant number 8. And Randy Orton is standing tall once again. He's overcome legends. He's overcome the future in NXT and everyone so far. Perhaps he can overcome Chad Gable. Now, Gable, of course, is on his way to the ring, but maybe something different happens at this point. Maybe the lights go out. Maybe they go very slowly, and we know that that familiar theme of the Fiend is coming. Maybe he returns here at the Royal Rumble. Of course, the Fiend has not been seen since TLC, and of course, he was burnt alive by Randy Orton in that Inferno match and has not been seen since. He returns, actually putting the mandible claw on Chad Gable in the ringway. So Chad Gable is the brand new Curtis Axel, who has never been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. He's going to be taken out via this way, via the Fiend. The Fiend, then the lights will go out. He'll be then in the ring with Randy Orton, putting the mandible claw and assist Abigail as well on Randy Orton by then eliminating Randy Orton from the Royal Rumble match. So this way, we've had a lot of quick eliminations, no real journeyman so far, but we've got an empty ring because the Fiend, of course, has done his business. He can go to the back of the locker room. Randy Orton is not going to be seen no more after the end of this partainment in the Royal Rumble match. We will move on to entrant number 9, and who can fill 90 seconds to 2 minutes perfectly while we wait for entrant number 10? Of course, it's a man with a guitar. It is Elias that's going to come to the ring now, with Jackson Riker as well by his side. Elias is going to be singing a song, perhaps explaining how he's going to throw everybody out of over the top rope to the floor and how he will be main eventing WrestleMania. Entrant number 10. AJ Styles with Omos in his corner. Yes, we've seen it a couple of times on Raw recently. Bodyguard and bodyguard. AJ Styles against Elias. We've had it already a couple of times. We will have it here, and AJ Styles will pick up his first elimination in the Royal Rumble match, eliminating Elias. And of course, Omos and Jackson Riker will probably have their part to play in this as well. But of course, it's a fun little way to get Elias in and out of the match, and we can focus them on the journeyman of the Royal Rumble. Now, of course, we've got AJ Styles left in the ring. Entrant number 11 is Daniel Bryan. What a perfect one-on-one encounter here we can have then for the next couple of minutes. Daniel Bryan against AJ Styles. Some pure wrestling as we start to fill the ring up with entrant number 12. Seth Rollins returns. That's right. Will it be the Messiah gimmick? Will we burn it down? I'm not quite sure which one we are going to get, but for the purposes of this video, I will go with the current of what we do know. But the Messiah gimmick is what left. I would love to see Burn It Down come back, but I do think we will have the Messiah gimmick coming for this particular match. And I want to see a triple threat match one day between AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins. This is the closest I'm going to get right now. I'm booking this Royal Rumble match just to have these three in the ring at the same time. But of course, still no eliminations. We are now going to film this ring up, and we're going to get our fourth entrant in the ring, entrant number 13. Cesaro will come into the ring. You can see now where I'm going with this. We've got pure, decent wrestling. We've got potential men that can be journeymen in this Royal Rumble. Maybe one, maybe two, maybe even three of these guys will be in and around near the end of the Royal Rumble match. Entrant number 14 is Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, of course, a legend, of course, in WWE and in wrestling in general. I think it's only fair that he gets himself a spot of potentially to be wrestling in the main event at WrestleMania. And still, no eliminations as we move on to entrant number 15, who will be none other than Dolph Ziggler, currently one half of the tag team champions he will be representing. He's currently labelled to be in this Royal Rumble match, and no mention of Robert Roode, and I haven't entered Robert Roode into this match. In fact, Robert will just be actually accompanying Dolph Ziggler to the ring. But yeah, we've now got 6 guys in the ring, all giving it large, and still no eliminations as we move on to the next entrance. Entrant number 16 is Apollo Crews. Now, of course, Apollo Crews recently has been with Roman Reigns backstage on a recent episode of SmackDown. What role will that have to play? Will we see a different side of Apollo Crews during this Royal Rumble match? Certainly will be interesting to see. Entrant number 17 is Big E. One of the favourites will at this point be coming in to the Royal Rumble match. Your current Intercontinental Champion, of course, also rivaling with Apollo Crews. So at this stage then, let's talk about the people we've got in the ring to try and give you a bit of storytelling of what is going on. Of course, Rey Mysterio has gone straight for Seth Rollins. Of course, WWE thinks that we love that rivalry, so that probably is continuing. Would make sense for them to be actually going at each other. AJ Styles is being saved at every given opportunity. Goes off the top rope by Omos. Of course, this is a good way to keep him in the match and makes use of Omos being on the ring floor as well. Cesaro and Daniel Bryan are continually one-upping one another. There seems to be those two going after each other in this particular match. Of course, Cesaro has made it quite clear that Daniel Bryan is not going to be winning this Royal Rumble match. So, yeah, very interesting as we've gone through this and we go to entrant number 18. We've got King Corbin coming into the match now, and this is where I think Rey Mysterio and King Corbin will be going after each other, currently feuding on SmackDown at this present time. Entrant number 19 coming into the match, and he is a game changer for you right now. Bobby Lashley from the Hurt Business, your current United States champion and dominant force on Monday Night Raw right now, is coming into the match, and this is where we find that Lashley is going to waste no time in eliminating some superstars from the Royal Rumble. First off, notably, will be Rey Mysterio eliminated from the match from Lashley, and as well as that, he will be eliminating Dolph Ziggler, throwing him on top of Robert Roode on the floor. So both of them, there's no way of saving. Dolph Ziggler is also eliminated from the Royal Rumble match. Looking at them, we go to entrant number 20, and Otis is coming in to the match right now. Of course, he's been announced for the match on WWE.com, so he'll be coming in to join the mix there. Otis, of course, in his entertaining self, doing caterpillars all over the place there, and of course, I'm sure he'll be wrestling with certain of the likes there of AJ Styles and, of course, Cesaro that are in the match right now. But entrant number 21 coming in is Sheamus. Sheamus will be coming in and he will be eliminating King Corbin from the match there. So King Corbin will be eliminated by Sheamus here as we move on to entrant number 22, which is Shinsuke Nakamura that will be coming into the match there, which will definitely give a bit of boost for Cesaro at this particular moment, although they seem to be on singular paths at the minute. Still have been a team in the past there, so you'd think that they'll be watching each other's back here as we go in towards in this Royal Rumble match. Otis is eliminated next, then he's eliminated by Bobby Lashley, as Lashley is going to be looking quite dominant in this Royal Rumble. I want to reflect the booking that we've had with Bobby Lashley over the last 8 or 9 months or so, as we go into entrant number 23, which is Keith Lee coming into the match, the Limitless one. This Royal Rumble match right now has got some game changers in the match, and I want the story that's going to be said here with him and Sheamus, the fact that they've been sort of having this on and off relationship, whether they trust each other, whether they don't, whether someone's going to turn on Drew McIntyre. They have got into this match knowing that they can sort of trust each other. They've agreed that they can trust each other. They will not necessarily watch each other's back, but their intention is to get themselves to the final 2 of the Royal Rumble, and then that way they can slug it out to find out who will be the one that will go to WrestleMania to take on Drew McIntyre. It's almost like a gentleman's agreement between these two in the storytelling of the match here. But as we continue then on to entrant number 24, Jey Uso is going to come into the match next now, and I want to see the dynamic of how it's going to be with him and Apollo. I think them two together there will actually manage to get themselves where they're actually taking advantage of Big E in the match there, but Big E is holding on strong at this particular moment. There is no eliminations there for you, but Shinsuke Nakamura is interested in what's going on with Jey Uso as well. Do keep an eye on these guys as we go to entrant number 25, who will be Riddle into the Royal Rumble match. Riddle will be coming in at number 25, a very good number for Riddle as well. 25 has been popular over the years, and maybe Riddle could be actually going to WrestleMania. The Bro could main event. We'll have to wait and see as we go through. Entrant number 26 is Damian Priest from NXT. That's right, Damian Priest is coming up now to the main roster. Of course, he's not been on NXT since losing to Karrion Kross at New Year's Evil. Of course, he's been rumoured of coming on SmackDown as well, so this is going to be the debut spot, and what a spot as well. Number 26 coming in for Damian Priest, and this is where all hell is about to start breaking loose in this Royal Rumble match, because Apollo Crews has been eliminated from the Royal Rumble match, being tossed over the top rope by Big E. So Big E's got an elimination there, getting rid of Apollo Crews from the Royal Rumble match. As well as that, Jey Uso has been thrown over the top rope as well, and his feet have both hit the floor there via Shinsuke Nakamura. This has not been taken too well there, because as Jey Uso is going towards the back, Roman Reigns is coming out and expressing how him being thrown over the top rope is a bad look for the family. It's not a good look. So Jey Uso, of course, very upset with this, goes back into the ring and eliminates Shinsuke Nakamura from the Royal Rumble match. Now, Cesaro is actually distracted by this, and it sees that Jey Uso continues a beatdown on the floor. He's continually beating Shinsuke Nakamura on the floor. Cesaro has a choice to make. Does he go and protect his tag team partner, or does he continue on to actually go and win the Royal Rumble match? He certainly is distracted, but he decides he's going to continue on in the ring nonetheless and go after Daniel Bryan. In this particular moment, though, he doesn't actually realise quite what he's going to do. He's countered, and Daniel Bryan manages to eliminate Cesaro from the Royal Rumble match. What's key about this as well is the fact that Cesaro, now eliminated from the match, still has the opportunity to actually save his fallen friend being beaten by Jey Uso. Being so upset by being eliminated from the Rumble, Cesaro then opts, instead of actually helping Shinsuke, to go towards the locker room area. WWE officials do eventually break up the beating that Jey Uso is given on Shinsuke Nakamura, but at the same time now this builds a nice little pattern going into WrestleMania. Shinsuke Nakamura obviously still will want revenge on Jey Uso for what's happened here, as well as from what happened on SmackDown a few weeks ago after the Gauntlet match. Let's not forget, Shinsuke Nakamura should be getting a championship opportunity, not having to put himself in the Royal Rumble to begin with, but also perhaps a longer term storyline here with Cesaro. What is going on with this team? Have they separated, going their separate ways? Are both of them going to get a big push in 2021 after what seems to be impressive starts from the both of them? Maybe that could be a key match going in at WrestleMania this year. As well as this, at the same time, Keith Lee manages to get the elimination of AJ Styles with the help there. Almost has been trying to protect AJ throughout the entire match, but Sheamus and Keith Lee are working together-ish throughout this match. Sheamus has managed to nullify the threat of Omos, which has managed AJ Styles to be eliminated by Keith Lee. And why not? Sheamus sort of can get some of the credit for this as well. We move on to entrant number 27, and that is going to be The Miz. That's right, Mr. Money in the Bank. Doesn't really need to be in the Royal Rumble match, does he, to be fair, but he's drawn a very good number here as we're going towards the end there. The Miz, of course, will always look to be the opportunist coming into a match like this. But again, the eliminations are coming thick and fast now. Daniel Bryan is going to be eliminated by Bobby Lashley. So Lashley, once again, still majorly dominant in this match, but not to be outdone by Keith Lee, who is actually going to eliminate Seth Rollins from the match as well. It looks like the journeymen have all played their part from what I was looking to do earlier in the match. Everyone now here seems to have done at least 25 to 30 minutes in the Royal Rumble match here. Lashley continues to be dominant, eliminating Riddle as well from the match there. So Riddle is no longer in the Royal Rumble match. And as we move then on forward, we have currently 6 superstars in the ring as we move to entrant number 28, which is going to be none other than Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal will be coming into the Royal Rumble match here, making his return to Raw as well. I believe he's actually been a part of the special tapings that have taken place now for a show for India, so it's good to see that Jinder Mahal is fit and healthy and back in a WWE ring. But as I said, Chaos has been hitting the ring now for quite a little while. Both The Miz and Jinder Mahal are not going to have long stays in this Royal Rumble, simultaneously going to be eliminated at the same time. Big E eliminating The Miz and Lashley eliminating Jinder Mahal. This will lead a face-off then between the Intercontinental and United States champions, and sadly Big E is not going to survive this. Unfortunately, Big E will be eliminated by Lashley, who has been so dominant in this Royal Rumble, but not to take focus of what's going on the other side of the ring. But just to make sure it's not completely dead air, we will actually cut the cameras towards the backstage, because Keith Lee, of course, would have made his way back to the locker room. He is going to be attacked by the Hurt Business. So what I'm actually trying to do here is I'm actually building a short-term storyline where we need to conclude what's going on with Keith Lee and Sheamus, but also building a start of a long-term storyline with Keith Lee and the Hurt Business, which will culminate in a United States Championship match between Keith Lee and Lashley, a battle of the behemoths at WrestleMania, two unstoppable forces. And remember, when Lashley eventually loses that United States Championship, it has to mean something. In fact, it will mean something. He's been booked so strong since June that whoever wins that title, it's going to carry, a lot of weight over, and it's going to mean a lot to that new champion. And Keith Lee, as much as we want to see him in the main event, you have to look at it and say that, of course, it could be a good thing that Keith Lee could win the mid-card championship first. Look at NXT, of him as the North American champion before becoming NXT champion. It was a great spot they had on the brand, and it actually eventually outgrew that championship. Maybe that's what he needs to do right now on the main roster. It was the same with John Cena. You go back to 2003 into 2004. We knew we had the next star on our hands, but at WrestleMania 20, John Cena wasn't in the title picture. He was actually the new United States champion, beating the Big Show. It was a full calendar year later that John Cena would then go on at WrestleMania 21 to win that first world title. So perhaps here I'm going with building a star, but I'm using my patience here and using the mid-card title to really elevate Keith Lee, defeating Lashley, who has been unstoppable, who is arguably now at that point where he's ready for bigger things, perhaps going towards the main event picture, and then Keith Lee can then carry his way at that momentum into the summer as a champion on the Raw brand. Back to the ring though, and of course we have Braun Strowman waiting there as the number 29 entrant. Of course, this is something unprecedented. As I said there, we've never had this before. It's going to be just a final two. Usually in Royal Rumble matches we have quite a few superstars left after the number 30 and we work our way down. This means this year's Royal Rumble will probably be shorter than most, but also gives us the opportunity with the final two to have almost a bit of a style match if you want. We could have a point where this can go for 5-10 minutes with just these two, unsure of who is going to pick up the win. Of course, we still don't know who that number 30 is going to be. But Braun Strowman, of course, is a former Royal Rumble winner, if you want. He won the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia a couple of years ago. And will he be able to overcome the number 30 spot? I do think Braun Strowman is a worthy winner of the Royal Rumble because of the fact that he was supposed to face, I believe, Drew McIntyre, if you believe the rumour mill, at TLC. Injury kept him out at the time. If he's good to go now and can come back for this Royal Rumble, it would be good to build that match for WrestleMania. And the funny part is that with number 30, I think that they will be quite well suited to actually be going for Roman Reigns and the Universal title. That's right, the Monster Among Men, number 29, will be colliding with number 30, your surprise entrant, and not been in a WWE ring since WrestleMania 36. I'm talking about the Beast Incarnate, the return of Brock Lesnar. That's right, we've got Braun Strowman against Brock Lesnar as the final two in the Royal Rumble. Suplex City, we've got F5s, we've got power slams, we've got a true power game finish here. Two colossal superstars colliding to see who will be the winner of the Royal Rumble match. And at this point, as I said, it could almost be down to choice for you, what you feel at home. I've booked the two title matches for WrestleMania. We've got Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman on one side, and we've got Roman and Brock on the other. But for me, if you want the place to go absolutely electric and to get the world talking, and as well Twitter going into absolute meltdown, and probably unhappy that he's beat all of your favourite wrestlers, Brock Lesnar will be the winner of the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble, defeating Braun Strowman. Now, of course, I am always someone that's an advocate who wants to build new stars. But if I look at things right now, I look at WrestleMania, what is the best storyline and best match possible that you could make right now? I think if WWE can get Brock Lesnar back in, and you've got fans that can be in attendance for WrestleMania at the Raymond James Stadium, I want to see Brock Lesnar against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, and this time Paul Heyman is in the corner of the Universal Champion. With the work Roman Reigns is currently doing, I think that this match between Reigns and Lesnar could be put to absolute perfection. We've soured on this match when it's been done previously with Roman as the babyface and Lesnar as the heel. I think with this way, this dynamic round, I think it's an interesting storyline. I think there's a lot you can do with it, and I think it gives something fresh for Lesnar to do, and it can also be that point which can solidify Roman Reigns as the #1 guy and heel in the company should he triumph at WrestleMania. So for that reason, we are sort of almost not really building a star, but we are cementing that star in Roman Reigns should he beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 37. Just imagine it now. It could be a Big E, it could be a Keith Lee, it could be someone else like that around SummerSlam time that could be on SmackDown and could then be the person that holds the championship, knowing that they've beaten Roman Reigns, who has solidified as that #1 guy, has really solidified himself as that tribal chief. It would really, really do something, wonders for that sort of younger superstar that is elevating themselves or pushing themselves, if you want, towards the top of the card. I certainly, just before we close off this video, would have loved it to be Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. That's a match that I definitely would want to see, but I can't book The Rock in this. Despite it being fantasy booking, you say, well, you can do what you want, really, because it's your fantasy, it's your ideas on a bit of paper. As you can probably tell, I've tried to take a lot of what's going on in the current product and actually try and make it as realistic of a Royal Rumble as possible, rather than going complete fantasy. I could go completely in a different direction, but I've tried to keep it with the basis of what we've got of current WWE storytelling as best as possible, booking into this match. So that's it. That's SCW books the men's 2021 Royal Rumble match. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to know if you liked the video, of course, then of course hitting the thumb up will go a long way for me. And leave a comment what your favourite part of the Rumble was, what you think was perhaps the most creative idea. Did you like the 29 and 30 being pretty much the only two left? Usually we see the Rumble extend quite a lengthy time. This would obviously be a shorter Rumble compared to other years, but certainly would be quite impactful as well with that way. Do you like the certain superstars that dominated the match, the likes of Lashley, the likes of Keith Lee, Big E? Are they the right people to be dominant? Do you want to see a new star go to WrestleMania, or are you happy seeing the old guard, the surprise entrants, the returns that come there and really make that shock value for the Royal Rumble as those superstars come back and immediately insert themselves into the main event of WrestleMania? I'd like to know your creative ideas as well. I love Royal Rumble season. It's such a creative time. What are some of your fantasy booking ideas? I'd love to know how you would book the men's Royal Rumble. Do let me know in the comments section. Definitely look forward to interacting with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it, share with a friend as well. If it's your first time watching, then subscribe as well to the channel. And of course, Royal Rumble predictions, the actual Royal Rumble predictions, will be dropping on the channel as well this week. So plenty to look out for. We've got the Q&A that was released yesterday as well. So lots of things to be excited about with SCW right now. Make sure to keep an eye on all videos as they and when they are released. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Take care. Have yourselves a great day. You've been watching SCW here on YouTube.com. All the best. I will see you next time.